inquiry in Victoria into women's pain, which is welcoming submissions from transgender women. I'm joined now by Giggle founder Sal Grover, live from the Gold Coast. Good to talk to you again, Sal. We talked about this last night with Gemma Tognini and Caroline De Russo. It just seems terrible that you're looking at women's pain issues, which obviously are gender specific, yet trans women, that is biological men, are encouraged to feed into this. Is there nothing that women can just have for women?
Apparently not. I mean, that's really the problem at the moment. What is the point of having a study about women's pain if men can just identify into the study? Not like it's $153 million they're spending on this study that is going to tell us all that some women have testicular issues. There's no point to it. Women's health is actually incredibly under-researched and it needs more attention to it, but this isn't it. Also, it would be interesting if they did a study of like men versus women pain. Like that could be really interesting findings there, but this isn't it. This is a study about women's pain and they're saying, oh, these men who consider themselves to be women for whatever reason should be included in it. Why should we pay attention to this? Why should anyone pay for it? It's absurd.
It is literally insane. We're supposed to be a science-based, rational society. As you say, women's health issues need to be researched. They are specific. And let's look at particular trans issues. Sure, it's nothing against trans, but what can they possibly tell us about women's pain?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Our bodies are different. Like just the actual reality of the earth is that men and women are different, and on a biological level, that's where it's the most obvious. And so, if you're going to have these kinds of studies, and it's just not the time to just be validating somebody's delusion. But this is the whole problem with the issue, is that once you are making this claim that some men are actually women, and then you have governments and institutions and organizations validating that, there can't be any exceptions to it, because then the whole thing comes crashing down.
Yeah, I want to go to another example which shows a similar train of thought. There's an amateur soccer club in Sydney that has 5 transgender women playing in it. They're undefeated. They've scored like 59 goals to 3. There are claims that women playing against them have had their legs broken, at least in one case. And other clubs and other women are not playing anymore because they're up against these 5 biological men. And there was a meeting going back a couple of months between the club and these clubs and the association. And the Daily Telegraph has done a reenactment of this meeting so that people can understand what went on in it. Just have a listen to this reasoning.
Why don't transgender women play in the mixed comp? We have a mixed comp. No one could argue if they played there. Why don't they play there?
I think largely because the trans women playing with us, what they are looking for, they want to be seen as women. They want to be part of a club that's a women's club. That's a really positive and affirming thing for them.
Yeah, Sal, so there's the rationale that the transgender women want to play in a women's comp because it makes them feel like women. But have a listen to what the reports say the association said.
We want people to register as the player based on the gender they identify with. As an association, we pride ourselves on being inclusive. We will be there for the first game of the season, and we will be doing a very big social media campaign saying we feel so proud that we are such a safe association, and this club is such a safe club that these men have decided to come out and identify as women, and we will promote that intensely.
See, they're doing this as an act of virtue signalling, and they're saying that you join as to the gender you identify with. What's so wrong with actually sticking to the biological gender? I've got nothing against trans people. I've got trans friends, but I'm afraid if you have a male's body, you need to either play in the male comp or a mixed comp. You can't enforce yourself on women and girls, surely.
Of course. I mean, this is the whole problem, is that every decision that is made to validate the delusions of these men, and they justify it by saying it's on the basis of inclusion. What they don't mention is at the moment that a man is included in women's sports, a woman is excluded.
Yeah.
It's just based on numbers. That's before you even get into the safety of it. Just based on numbers, a woman is excluded. So I don't actually buy their argument that it's for inclusion. No, as you said, it's for virtue signaling. It's just to keep this lie and this nonsense going.
It's a hell of a problem. It's a hell
Yeah,
of
they
a
can
problem,
play in the
Sal.
next game.
Thanks so much for speaking to us about it. I appreciate it. Sal Grover there, who speaks out on these issues and cops a lot of flack for it, but I know most of you at least would agree absolutely with her rationale.